Have you ever seen a toy and thought, wow, I really want that? And after being so sure of getting the thing you want, you are let down by the disapproval of your parents. I'm sure many of you experienced something similar to this before. Maybe you felt the disappointment coming from your parents' mouth and never understood why they wouldn't say yes. But what if I told you that they are doing the right thing? This brings us to the topic of consumerism and hedonism. What is consumerism? You may or may not have heard this term before, but do you know what it means? So that we're on the same page, consumerism is the idea that a person's happiness heavily depends on buying material possessions. So why is consumerism wrong? Well, consumerism increases mental health problems like stress and depression. Trying to get what you want when you have limited resources can be very exhausting to the mind and body. Consumerism forces people to work harder, borrow more, and spend less time with loved ones. By pursuing consumerism, you are also harming the environment. Increasing demand for goods puts extensive pressure on natural resources such as water and raw materials. And what is hedonism? Hedonism is the belief that pleasure or the absence of pain is the most important principle in determining the morality of a potential course of action. It's quite similar with consumerism in a sense that they both prioritize the satisfaction of one's desires. And why is hedonism wrong? Well, there is selfishness in hedonism. By focusing on one's own personal search for pleasure, hedonists, which are people who pursue hedonism, put themselves before others and don't do their responsibilities. And thus, I present to you a solution to consumerism and hedonism, which is to differentiate between your needs and your wants. Your needs are the things that you must have to live. For example, food, water, air, and shelter. On the other hand, your wants are the things that you would like to have, but you can actually live without it. For example, these could be your toys, games, candy, vacation, and devices. What are some things that you want? Sometimes it's difficult to decide if something is a need or a want. Well, let's test yourself. Let's decide whether you think this item is a need or a want. A hamburger. Is this a need or a want? It is a want. Sure, it is a food which is a need, but you don't specifically need a hamburger. It might be delicious and it might be fun to have, but there are plenty of other food options. Next, are trees a need or a want? A tree is a need. Trees, they provide oxygen, which is something that we need in order to survive. Next, is a car a need or a want? A car is a want. Sure, cars can make your life easier, but you don't need them in order to live. So the next time you ask your parent to buy something for you, go ahead and ask yourself, is it a need or is it a want? And from there, you can decide if it's really necessary to ask for whatever it is that you desire.